The losers match of Freeman versus Kenzie.
Yep, it is. Kind of an interesting losers match. We might expect to see Freeman here, but we wouldn't expect to see Kenzie here. After that early upset versus Enjoyme, who then went on to almost beat Busy in the winners match, which had me on the edge of my seat. I literally knocked my headphones off by mistake at one point. I got so excited. I did some kind of crazy arm movement, and they went flying across the room. That's how freaked out I was by the events we saw in that game. But this one, we're going to be seeing Kenzie versus Freeman. It's going to be another PvZ. Once again, seeing Kenzie break out what I would imagine is his natural Zerg race. I always kind of think that is the way he plays. And I would definitely fancy Kenzie to take this one. Yeah, I think so.
I would agree. Freeman wasn't particularly impressive against Busy. To be fair, Busy's a very strong player. But I mean, Enjoyme put up a way better showing, as you said. So yeah, I would have to agree with you. I mean, PvZ is already hard, and Kenzie definitely seems to be better at this point in time. But who knows? I mean, I believe these guys are now teammates on Team NG.
They are indeed.
I don't know if that's just a French team or what, but maybe I don't know if they've practiced for TLS together or something like that. There could be some kind of mind gaming going on if they know each other's play styles, and that could come into play as well.
I'm sure they do. I see the guys from NG practicing together quite a lot. Although they seem to play a lot of kind of UMS and stuff as well, so I don't know how much they'll actually know their
Hey man,
their
UMS is where it's at. Dude, I learned all kinds of useful melee skills from UMS, man.
Really?
Yeah, like the trick Michael does with 2 drones and a Zergling. See? If you play cat and mouse UMS, you'd know exactly what that's about.
I have no idea what that's about.
Yeah. Or, man, I'm sure there's other really useful tricks that you know from UMS. I'm trying to think now.
Well, we can go into the game and you can enlighten me in the beginning.
I'll try and
let's
think
face
of
it,
some
nothing
more.
happens in the beginning.
Alright, so here we go. Losers match between Freeman and Kenzie.
Here we go.
And here we go. At the bottom right is the Peach Birdos. We have NG Freeman. And at 12 o'clock is the Orange Zerg. We have NG Kenzie. Oh, we got some French going on. Alright, time to bust out the high school French lessons. On la joue sans admin. Oh, they're playing without an admin.
Yeah, I knew that. I was all over it.
Nice.
You know. What was the 2 drone and a Zergling thing you were telling me about?
Oh well, if you have, because units will always try and target military units rather than workers or neutral units. If you have like a melee unit or any unit behind 2 neutral/worker units in hold position, and there's a melee unit on the other side, it will never auto target the workers, right? You have to manually target, but if you cover it with like a floating building or an overlord, it's literally impossible to break through the wall with melee units.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't know that. I didn't know that from UMS. I think I knew that from some kind of boxer thing. But yeah, definitely a cool trick. I don't know why you don't see that more often in TVZ especially. I find it a little bit odd. You literally never see it. I don't quite know why. It seems really legit to me. Seems like it would be valuable.
It could be. I mean, I guess like the medic block is sort of the same idea, where the units won't auto attack the medic, so you have to like manually micro them and pain in the butt.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like that, I guess. Anyway, we got a lucky scout here from the pro getting in first, and I hope he saw the pool. He's not made a forge yet.
I don't think he did see the pool. Now he's going to get all the way back into the pool. That's a little bit iffy though. He could easily have not seen the pool. He should know from the expansion timing though that there's something going on.
It's a weird spot for a pool though.
It is a weird spot for a pool. Yeah, I can't quite explain that really. And maybe it is just so that it's hidden. I can't think of any other reason. And down goes the hatchery, unable to block it. Kenzie is able to get his hatchery at the ideal time. No extra cash in the bank. And Freeman is about. Is he going to make his Nexus? No, he's going to have to make a cannon before he makes his Nexus. Slightly unfortunate.
Yeah.
Necessary, nonetheless.
Now there are 4 lings on the way instead of 6, so it looks like two are just gonna chase the probe, and maybe 2 just go poke at the front or something like that. But otherwise, it will be completely normal. Hey, back to UMSs, man. UMSs are awesome. Because there was actually one UMS that was literally all you did was like use every single bug in Broodor. It was called like 21 tricks or something like that, or impossible tricks or something. It was actually always really funny because the first task you had to accomplish was infinitely cloak a Zergling. So like you had an Arbiter and a Zergling, and you had to cloak the Zergling when it was out of range of the Arbiter in order to run through like a few Marines or something.
What?
And like nobody could ever figure like, well, like, you know, 2/3 of the people who joined the UMS just had no idea what to do and just instantly rage quit the map. So it was always really funny. Just the first challenge like got rid of most people who were playing the map. Basically what you have to do is if you unburrow the Zergling and the cloak status of the Zergling changes at the exact same time, so either the Arbiter enters range or exits range at the exact time you unburrow, it will become permacloaked.
You're joking?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is pretty sick, but it's really hard to pull off actually.
That's awesome. Yeah, that really blows my that blows my mind. Oh, that's a really good use for mind control actually.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
You mind control, you know, a whole bunch of or you mind control a drone, you max out on lurkers and get 1 Arbiter, and then you can have or a bunch of Hydras with Burrow, and you can have a maxed out permacloaked army. Yeah.
If you spend forever microing it with your Arbiter and burrowing trying to get it right.
But I figure if you have so many units, just by unburrowing everything while the Arbiter is going into range, you'll just naturally get a whole bunch of them permacloaked without trying.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think that's a new metagame sale. Permanently cloaked Zerg units.
It's pretty awesome.
You heard it here first. So it's good that we came up with that on stream, because now nobody can deny it when BC's doing it next time.
Exactly. It's been claimed. Yeah. Alright, what's happening in the game anyway? Everything seems normal, right?
It's really normal. I've been keeping an eye on it, you know, just on the back burner, because frankly that's what I'm here to do. But nothing too crazy happening as of yet. We do have a Stargate happening in the main base for Mr. Freeman. No +1 air weapons as of yet, so nothing funny going on there. We have 3 hatcheries up and running for our friend Kenzie, and he has a Spire on the way in now as well, but no natural gas. I'd say this is just completely standard from both of these guys, with the exception that we do have a little bit of a Zealot foray going out from Mr. Freeman, but looking like he's not going to proceed too far with that and is just going to turn back. But he does force a few extra lings in the meantime, so I guess that's all he really wanted.
Yeah, it was just a little fake out, cause him, wow. Looks like Kenzie made a few too many links here. I don't think that was really necessary for 2 Zealots. But this third base, by the way, I do want to point out, this is a non-standard location. I would have expected it at the natural base on the left side, or even at his mineral only. But he's actually taking a gas base at the top left, which is actually fairly protected. There's only a narrow ramp, but it is quite a long distance by ground from his natural anyway. So, like, if he was going to take this base, I don't know why he wouldn't just take the left side natural and then get a free 4th base.
Yeah, that seems a little bit strange to me. Maybe... No, can't really come up with any good reason. And Freeman, despite doing what looked like it was a decent fake out earlier on to force some extra lings, in fact, kind of fakes out his own fake out and loses all the Zealots to the extra lings which he forced in the middle of the map, thus undoing his own little bit of an advantage which he got from that. So that's a little bit unfortunate. 1 Overlord's going to go down.
There's only 1 cannon, and there are now 7 Zerglings. This is
They are
dangerous.
slowlings, though. They are not speed. But this
7 slowlings can take out 1 cannon. The wall's not great.
Yeah, it definitely can. And Freeman, seeing this, should get some probes out there ASAP and block, because 1 extra cannon is not going to be done in time. It looks like he's not really that bothered. Finally, here come the probes off the line. Kenzie, not too bothered either. Both of these guys are completely apathetic about the whole idea. Freeman has got like 3 too many guys mining his natural gas as well. Probably.
Really?
There you go. You've just changed it. We have 5 guys mining his gas. It's completely standard from both of these guys, though. Here we have Psystorm on the way in for Freeman, but we don't have any sign of any DT action. We head straight to High Templar. This is interesting from Freeman. I'm not quite sure what it would be.
I think it's okay. I mean, it's sort of a stylistic thing, I guess, whether you make DTs first or not. I generally do, but I think it's okay to just go straight High Templar. He is getting goon range already, though. That perplexes me a bit. Is he going for like a hardcore 2-base Goon Templar all in or something.
It looks like it, doesn't it?
5 gateways building. This is pretty intense.
They're building it right underneath some Scourge. I'm not quite sure why he wouldn't flush the Scourge out with maybe a little bit of fancy Corsair micro first of all.
Fortunately, Scourge have like tiny vision range. I'm just gonna check. The Scourge can only see 1 gateway done and 2 building. Yeah, they're not gonna see the 4th and 5th.
It's still a bit of a giveaway. You'd kind of assume.
Wait,
4th and 5th.
are they gonna go back? Oh no, you see, he still only sees 3. He did not see them.
But when you see the gateway on the far left right there, you'd assume another gateway on the inside of it next to the pylon.
Yeah, probably.
So maybe a little bit of a giveaway there. Kenzie should know what's going on. But as we saw in his previous game, we could get these Corsairs caught by Scourge. Maybe not quite. Takes his eye off them for a second. That's what's going to happen. In the chase.
They fly at the same speed. If you keep changing direction, you will survive as the Corsairs. You have to go 45 degrees though. It has to be 45 degrees, or you mess up.
No way! This is crazy stuff. This is some kind of weird mini game we've got ourselves into. And he could.
I think he's okay. I think he's got it.
Okay, but he can't. Yeah, he can get into the reflection. He should be alright. But yeah, I think Ken's prepared for this. But as we've already seen, Ken's being prepared, knowing what build is coming, doesn't necessarily mean all that much, does it? He can still kind of have a little bit of a brain error.
I guess not. And again, kind of similar to the last game, I don't know if he's got the complete 100% confirmation of what's happening. I mean, we can see it is the Goon Templar. It's kind of not really all in, but you know, it's hard to transition out of this. I mean, he is getting ready to get a mineral only, but the problem is this composition is pretty wacky. Like, it's really strong on the ground if you get really good storms off and the Zerg doesn't really know what's going on. But we can see actually we already have some Mutas being made, and Mutas, if he has good micro, will be able to pick off this High Templar. The Goon's DPS will not be high enough. Now there are 2 Corsairs. These could actually play a very pivotal role here in protecting the High Templar, because the Goons by themselves I don't think will have enough DPS to stop the Templars from being sniped.
Yeah,
and I think he's just revealed his plan, that this Link saw everything.
Yeah, he doesn't seem that keen on preventing his opponent from seeing what's going on. And these Mutas will easily be able to take out all those High Templar with maybe only 1 or 2 losses to their number if the targeting is good from Framer. And that is not good odds. I do not like those odds. Mutas are just so effective at sniping High Templar. Even when there's a huge number of goons around, the DPS, as you say, is just not that high. The Corsairs might be able to scare them off for a little bit, but even so, that is a far superior number of Mutas compared to these Corsairs.
He knows he's just going after the Templar. What is he doing? Get 1 Templar, 2 Templar. Oh, the storm goes off, but if he gets a Templar, it doesn't matter. If the Mutas all die, as long as he kills the Templar, no more storms are left. Oh! Grabs the 3rd High Templar, and that's enough, I think. Is it enough? Only goons left. If he just masses Hydra Ling right now with no storms there, I think he's okay. This is what I'm talking about. Pure goons with no Templar support is not good at all against Zerg, and you can see just an inferior, money's worth of Zerg units is easily able to crush the goon army, because without the storms, they're nothing. They are worthless.
With the storms, that would have been good. And with that final High Templar, that 1 High Templar with just 1 storm, it might have gone differently, but right to the death, the last Mutalisk with its dying shot was able to take out that High Templar. So pretty edge of the seat stuff here for both of these 2 guys. Kenzie just kind of hanging on, and it might have been a whole lot worse. And Freeman's master plan is foiled, and for some reason he's moving all of his goons all the way back into his main. I think that's a bit of a mistake, clicking in the wrong place. He still doesn't have speed zealots either, and the zealot speed is not. Zealot speed is just finished. As I said that, I went to check at the Citadel and was like, oh, it's not researching either. That's a little bit confusing. You know, but yeah.
Sorry. To be fair, I did say it was a little bit weird to transition off of this, and I still sort of stand by that. But now that I think about it, because his 3rd base is a mineral only now, it's much easier for him to supplement zealots into his army. So now, because he's already got his core of goons and he didn't actually lose that many, he can just make pure zealot Templar and rebalance the composition. And if he goes up to like 150 supply with this number of goons and then only make zealots and Templars, I think his composition will be roughly right and good.
Yeah, it should be.
And because he got the mineral only, that's fine. He can just make a lot of zealots now. And so I don't think he's completely dead yet. In fact, I think he's actually still okay.
Yeah, he is, and as you know, as we discussed in previous weeks, whatever you do in the early game, you're always going to find yourself in the mid game, which is exactly what this looks like. That Dragoon contingent has now faded into a much more balanced army, and it's actually a really good army now. That's strong. He's got plenty of zealots, he's got plenty of High Templar in there as well. probably better not go up that little ramp. He could probably find a much better engagement position than that. But he's going to have a hard time doing any real concerted break up there once lurkers get it.
This is a really interesting situation because this actually reminds me of a game between Siki and DeWalt. I think it was during one of the previous seasons of TLS. I think it was on Electric Circuit where DeWalt did a very similar idea to what Freeman was doing here with the... Oh, hold that thought. Looks like we have an attack here after the top left. The lurkers do finish though. There's no observers here, so I don't think he can continue, especially with the army coming in the back. He needs to save his storms and not waste them on single lurkers here because there's a lot of units coming in from the back. If he gets good storms, he can hold here. He needs to get great storms though. That's an okay storm. He needs one more. Does he have energy? He's no more energy, and now his army is surrounded. It's going to get mauled by the Hydralisks. All those expensive goons just turning into goo right here. That was terrible.
Yeah, I think wasting those 2 storms on one single lurker was really, really bad. One more storm and then finish things off, but that army is just being demolished for Freeman. That is so expensive. You just saw like 3,000 minerals worth of stuff die all at once so easily, just like that. And that is what happens when your army composition goes a bit wrong. He had his zealots all at the top of the ramp doing minimal damage to that base. They almost managed to kill the final sunken, but no more than that. He didn't have any observers. He wasted some really important side storms on one single defensive lurker. Not good at all for Freeman. Kenzie is going to find himself in film control of this game. Now loading up some stuff ready to do a big drop in the back of the Protoss base.
Yeah, this is going to be super hard now for Freeman to deal with this. He's got just 2 cannons in the main base. His main army is all the way on the other side of the map, and he's got no vision anywhere. So the first sign of this he's going to see is when the units actually already start dropping. Really like this move by Kenzie, but that was just, I still feel pained about that attack. I mean, he didn't even have that many storms. I think maybe he might have not been aware of how low on energy his Templars were. He thought he might have had more because he did have like 4 or 5 Templars, but hold that thought. We do have a storm drop going into the top left. He's trying to skirt around the Spore, but that's just giving Kenzie more time to see it. But Kenzie doesn't seem to be reacting. Oh, looks like we have the drop here. They might both drop each other simultaneously. The Doom drop in the Protoss main, the Storm drop in the Zerg main. It's not dropping though. There's the drop in the Zerg main. Where's the storms at? I don't see any storms, but here we go. The main Nexus is under attack. Where is the High Templar going? Oh, it's going to the natural instead. There are roughly the same. Actually, a few more drones are in fact in the natural, but he's not dropping though. He is not dropping.
He is dropping. He now gets the High Templar down. He will finally get that storm drop. We have a whole lot more drones transitioning in as well.
Oh, storming again! Storming again! Storming again! Oh my god, do the G5 storm! No!
What are you doing?
Oh no, oh my god, and there's lurkers in the natural of the Protoss because he's not paying attention, but the lurkers burrow in the natural. He's targeting down the probes. Meanwhile, he's also attacking into the 3rd base. I don't know if he's going to get it though. There are a lot of cannons at the top of the ramp, but the main base has been cleared out. Where the hell did that shuttle go? The shuttle is just chilling. He's just chilling, but Freeman is falling apart here.
Freeman is just going to pieces so quickly, moving a bunch of zealots to try and clean up these lurkers, all of them dying pretty much immediately for the work that just a couple of well-placed dragoons could have done. Doesn't look like he really has any observers in his army either. What is up with Freeman and observers? Seriously, he is not a fan at all. The natural is done, the main is done, Freeman's lost his 4th. He has now literally just a mineral-only base mining, and that's it. He's able to get his 4th base mining once again, but he has just been rinsed out, and the shuttle has now disappeared somewhere, so I'd imagine that his attempts at storm dropping have met an untimely end. That was
funnily enough, Kenzie just transferred all the drones from his main to his natural and didn't put any back, so I don't know what's going on there. And somehow one of the drones actually pushed itself through the natural minerals and is now stuck because of the evolution chamber, so that's pretty funny. But yeah, this is not looking good for our Protoss hero.
Yeah.
Somehow he's still up in supply though, that's good.
Somehow, but he's going to have to remake his main, and that is that's fairly expensive. That's going to take a chunk out of his ability to macro, and that's a lot of lurkers moving through the middle of the map. Do we even have an observer? We do have 2 observers, 3 observers with the army. Oh, he's invested in speed as well. Very smart.
No, the Templar Archives! It's being focused!
Oh,
but it's okay.
Not quite going down.
The Protoss army's not okay.
Oh no! Freeman is in so much trouble here. His army looks like it's going to get completely covered in lurkers. He lands some nice storms, but the last of his dragoons going down. Decent storms on the lurkers, and he's actually able to do some pretty significant damage to the army of Kenzie. But even so, he's pushed all the way back, and Kenzie's army is far more expendable than his at this point, with a greatly superior economy behind him.
If he'd been storming like that all game, he'd be in way better shape, because those were some pretty sick storms. He just got a million lurkers there, despite losing all his own army as well. But lurkers are not cheap either, you know. Those are one of the more expensive units for the Zerg, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kenzie's actually, or sorry, Freeman actually sort of mining like from 2.5 bases again. He hasn't bothered to remake his main Nexus because there are barely any minerals there anyway. I think there's barely 400 minerals at the base, so it's not even worth remaking the Nexus there. You can just distance mine it later if he really needs to. Hopefully he doesn't get to that point. But yeah, I mean, you know, he kept his Templar archives. Did he lose any? I mean, he lost his core, but did he lose any other tech? Because his road was in his natural. You know, his forge is the natural. He didn't, you know, he rebuilt his core, and that's about it. There actually was no other significant tech. But oh, lurker drop. Oh god. Oh god. He's not looking. He's not paying attention. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah, all those probes are going to die. Looks like he's not going to move a single one of them away. He's not paying attention to his mini-map. He loses all but 3. That is pretty serious. He's somehow still got a really big army. I don't know how he's fielding an army like this. I guess because his gateways were intact. He's not even bothering with his main Nexus. His main is just empty right now.
I think maybe a lot of them didn't even necessarily die in that attack just now. I think some of them might have just been at the natural or something, because his army that did get slaughtered looked fairly small given his supply, so I feel like his army might have just already been split up or something. Oh, a lot of lurkers getting caught here on borrowed, but there come the support units. The zealots though are going to close with the lurkers. I hope he has an obs here. I don't see an obs though.
He does have
oh, he does have an obs in the back. Yeah, and here we go, and this time the engagement looks like it's going to be good for the Protoss. No, more Lings in the back. The zealots, you take on the Lings. Oh, good storm on the Lings though, and it looks like the Protoss army is going to finally be victorious in the middle of the map, just with a swarm of 3 attack zealots against the 1-1 Zerg. He is breaking through, and he's going to pick off this expansion in the little map.
Yeah, but if you're going to beat a Zerg, you need more than one favorable engagement. He's going to have a few more where that came from in order to really get on top of this game. He is going to take out that expansion, which is nice. And I almost said Zeke there, dear me. Kenzie is going to go back down to 4 bases. Down with this Zeke. Freeman would be nowhere. But he is going to go back down to 4 bases. And so Freeman isn't actually that far behind. Oh, this is interesting. Freeman actually going up the ramp. It looks like he might actually be able to get the decent enough position going in the natural. He will not take no for an answer right here. He's actually going to go for it. And this could be a little bit scary for Kenzie. Freeman is going right into his natural expansion. Kenzie stands to lose quite a lot here. Will we see a storm on those Hydras? We do see a storm on those Hydras. Not too bad for Freeman. And he's pushing all the way in. He still has a decent number of zealots left. And he does still have a good number of Dragoons left in the back as well. Where are his observers? He needs his observers back there to deal with his lurkers. He is able to take out the lurkers fairly easily, and this is so bad. Mackenzie, I actually can't believe this is happening.
Where the hell is Obs?
Is actually all over this.
Oh, you got an Obs hiding on top of the Overlord. I was like, how the hell is he seeing those lurkers? But yeah, he's still busting through. Now I think, oh my god, but he's got more reinforcements coming in. I was going to say the reinforcements from Mackenzie should be enough, but Freeman's got more reinforcements of his own. He just poured in a whole bunch of speed lots.
What?
Oh my god, this is crazy. This is crazy. The natural expansion might just die here. It looks like he used, no, he didn't use a storm with the drones. Those were just zealots killing them. Kenzie, how can he stop this assault? What is going on here? This is like exactly what we just saw with Enjoyment versus Busy, where Enjoyment was breaking into the natural. Can Kenzie hold and pull it back? The problem with this is that Kenzie is not Terran. He does not have the sick defensive skills of the Terran. He is a Zerg. All he can do is spam units of prey, and it's looking like these 3-0 zealots are going to put a stop to that. He's making mutas though. He's making mutas.
Mutas are probably a good idea at this point. But
wait. The High Templar just walked into the main. It has energy for a storm. He has just done the storm walk.
Please do it. Yes,
storm walk!
There's the money storm. Very, very nice. And this is looking so good for Freeman right now. It looks like Kenzie might finally be able to clean him out with these few mutas, kind of 8 mutas or so. I'm not quite sure how many, but so many more zealots coming in. He might be able to do some more significant damage before those zealots can all be cleaned up. Just there are so many mutas there to do the damage, but no, it looks like instead he will pull out. And Kenzie stabilizes, but oh man, that was a lot of damage.
And the natural has fallen. He did manage to grab the natural before losing the rest of his zealots, but the problem is, how does he deal with these mutas? He's got 1 Archon, and that's it. In fact, the mutas can fly into the main and finish off the Templar archives.
Yeah, and they probably, in fact, should. I feel like that would have been so much more effective, though, if Freeman had then, instead of continuing to pour more units into natural, if he'd have diverted just like 1 rally's worth of units over to the right-hand side base, he could have got that down as well. And that would have put Kenzie on 2 bases at this point, which would have just been horrible. Can we see some decent storms on these moves? We see 1 good storm, another good storm as well. Nice storm right there for Freeman. He's playing the mini-game quite nicely. I'm not quite sure how he's in such a good position against the Zerg player at this point in the game. Nice storms all over.
Oh!
To take out almost all of the mutas, and I definitely think that was worth it, storming his own units for that. The mutas are all gone. And he's able to continue pushing in. He might be able to take down that hatchery if he gets some reinforcements in there right away.
Oh my god, 86 supply against 50, and here we go. A few random units come in and try and save the hatchery. The obs get scourged, but it doesn't matter. There's no lurkers here. This base is almost certainly going to fall somehow just to a couple of random units here. More Dragoons are supplementing. This Nexus in the middle of the map is almost finished, and Freeman exits the game.
What?
Okay, hold on. All right, hold the phone. Hold the phone. All right, apparently there was a disconnect. There was a drop in the game. But who won? Tupac says, oh, the winner dropped. Okay, Freeman is the winner, but he dropped. Freeman is the winner, but he dropped.
Oh my god.
He is the winner. Freeman is the winner. Oh,
I didn't catch my breath for a second.
Okay, apparently Kenzie actually even typed GG, but then he disconnected, so like it didn't get recorded. So that's why it looked really weird. But Kenzie did GG, so Freeman is the winner.
My god.
Woo! Okay.
I freaked out there. I actually thought he had got the completely wrong impression of what was happening and had just left the game in some kind of rage.
Did the good old Idra leave? The Idra GG timing?
That would have been ridiculous. But somehow, Freeman won that game.
Oh man, what? Wait, are we having a PvP in the final? But does that mean Enjoy Me is actually going to get out of the group?
Maybe, and Freeman. What's happening?
I don't know, man. Wait, has Enjoy Me made the round of 16 yet?
No. Yes. No, he lost. No. He lost a bit. No, because Busy's already gone through, so Enjoy Me is now playing against Freeman.
No, but I mean in previous seasons. Has he made the round of 16?
I don't think so.
Okay, because he's got a good shot of beating Freeman, because his PvP is pretty solid.
But what happened in that game? How did Freeman win?
Protoss.
But that usually is invalid against Zerg. That usually just does not fly. But somehow, even after that weird storm drop, having his main taken out, losing all his probes at his natural and at his fourth, having only his mineral-only third mining, losing his army multiple times.
Yep.
He then eventually attacked and won the game.
Because Protoss.
I'm afraid I don't understand. I don't. Can we take a break? I think I need to.
Yes, let us collect our thoughts. Be right back, guys, for the final match.